So finally Arc 5 has arrived, and Konami certainly didn't fall short on the amount of content that came with it. A new main box, 4 new characters, a new structure deck, a new super mini selection box, new summoning mechanic, a bunch of new skills, including skills that create Master Rule 3 pendulum zones, a dream ticket, a new playmat, some new sleeves, and to top it all off, Konami also gave us a 30,000-year-old turtle. But after reviewing all of this brand new content live on stream yesterday, it was pretty obvious there was one deck I was most excited for. Melodious. Now just before I go through the list, just a reminder that if you're enjoying any of the content you are watching or find any of it useful, to please leave a like on the video down below and consider subscribing to the channel whilst you're down there. I'm ridiculously close to 50k now, so I'd really appreciate the support, especially if you've seen multiple of my videos now and still haven't subbed. Come on guys, do me a solid. Alright, so I'm not kidding when I say this. This deck is really fucking good. I'm not sure how well it will do in a tournament setting, since it seems to be really weak to side decking, but for ladder play, this deck is absolutely ridiculous. So this list has gotten a massive upgrade since the last Melodious video I uploaded last week, as the new world not only gave it 3 brand new supporting cards, all of which have insane power levels by the way, but it also gave us an absolutely cracked skill on Zuzu. So the most important new addition to the deck is of course the deck's new ace boss monster, Loom Diva. This card cannot be destroyed by battle or card effects. Also, you take no battle damage from attacks involving this card. If it battles a special summon monster, you can inflict damage to your opponent equal to half the difference between the original attack of that monster and this card, and if you do, destroy that monster. So quite a few important things to note. Firstly, this card is immune to all destruction effects. Obviously, there are a lot of outs to this in dueling, so cards like Chalice, Malevolent Sin, Karma Cut, even just a Book of Moon to put this face down so you can then pop it is an out. But if you don't draw into your out, or if it's just removed by a Cosmic, oh boy are you in trouble. Because if you ever try to special summon a monster, this card's effect will instantly hit it with a non-target destruction removal that also burns you. This card is pretty ridiculous. But to summon this card, it does require 1 Melodious monster plus a Melodious Maestra, which for those of you that don't know, are the bigger Melodious monsters. So this card should be pretty hard to summon, right? Right? Nope, not at all. Because we now have the new skill from Songstress to Maestra. Send 1 face-up Melodious to your graveyard, then play 1 Melodious Maestra from your deck or grave whose original level is higher. So simply summon any Melodious monster, activate your skill, bring out either Mozarta or Soprano, which by the way you get a lot of use out of their effects as I'll show you in the gameplay, then summon Soprano, use this effect and you have yourself a boss monster. Or you know what? You can just skip all that and use the second new addition to this deck. Ostinato. If you control no monsters, you can fusion summon a Melodious fusion monster from your extra deck using 2 monsters from your hand or deck as fusion material, but it is destroyed during the end phase and all material used in its summon is then special summoned back to the board. Now that last part of the effect might actually be a bit of a downside, but you know, our new boss monster can't be destroyed by card effects, which includes this card, so you can simply activate this to instantly summon Bloom with absolutely no downside. It's literally a 1 card, indestructible, non-target removal, burning boss monster. Kinda nutty. And just in case all that support wasn't enough to make this deck strong, Konami also decided, you know what, let's release Honest. Sorry, I mean Score. During damage calculation, in either player's turn, if a Melodious monster you control battles an opponent's monster, you can send this card from hand to the grave to change that monster's attack and defense to 0 until the end of the turn. So literally, any single monster tries to battle any of your Melodious cards, well, guess it now has 0 attack, and you're taking a buttload of battle damage, all because of a hand trap. Honestly, this deck just feels ridiculous, and you'll see what I mean when I show you the gameplay. Alright guys, that's going to be it for the decklist portion of the video. The rest of the video will be gameplay with commentary showcasing the combos in action. Remember, if you are enjoying the content or wish to see more, to please drop a like on the video down below and consider subscribing whilst you're down there. Enjoy the gameplay. Alright, let's get into it. So as you can see, this decklist went 8 wins and 2 losses when I played it, and honestly, it was very lucky I didn't get straight up just 10 wins. The only things I lost to were the luckiest top deck of his life in this duel. This guy was literally going to lose the next turn, and he drew the only card in his deck that would beat me. It was a very lucky duel. I wasn't able to summon my boss monster, but I still was about to win, and then he top decked this card. Literally the only card in his deck that would have saved him. Anything else, I went through it all, nothing would have saved him. This guy got super lucky. And the other duel that I lost was I just forgot what character he was playing, didn't realise he was playing Plasma, and yeah, Plasma kind of counters this deck hard. But every other duel was a bit of a stomp, so this deck seems really good. I'm not sure how competitively viable this will be, as like I said in the deck list portion, I think it's pretty susceptible to just like random side decking back row cards or whatever that you can just put in the deck that just specifically out this boss monster. Because if you have like easy outs to this boss monster, it does make this deck a lot harder to try and play. So anyway, let's get into the actual gameplay though. Yeah, I'm pretty excited to see how this deck does tier list wise. I'm hoping there's no way this deck won't be a King of Games worthy deck. It's easily King of Games worthy. That's out of the question. It's whether or not this goes from being Rogue to maybe tier 3. That's what I'm hoping for. If it stays at Rogue tier, that's fine too, because this deck dominates ladder anyway. Alright, so this guy was playing Evil Hero, trying out the new Evil Hero stuff. Which, by the way, you'll see a video from me on Evil Heroes as well, but that's when the new character comes out with the... Not new character, the new event comes out with a new field spell. So he summons his new Dark Gaia with a billion attack. Prismatic, by the way. So first thing we're going to do is going to use Movement Solo to summon out Canon from deck. Now I made a bit of a misplay here, as you'll see in a second. You're not meant to summon Diva from deck. The card you summon from deck is the card you want in hand at the end of the turn, as you'll see in a second. So I don't think Diva was the good choice. I should have gotten the attack buffing card, or maybe another Soprano, so I had another fusion summon next turn. Something like that. Or even maybe just another hand trap if I wanted another one. Because as you can see, I then activate Maestra's effect, or Mozarta's effect, to special summon Songstress. When Songstress is special summoned, she brings back something from graveyard to hand. So, when I activate the skill to swap them over, it sends the card to the grave. Songstress can then add it back to hand. So I should have added something that was much better in hand. Instead I decided to just summon it, and then use Songstress effect to then summon Choir. Which has a pretty good animation, not gonna lie. Kind of looks a little bit scary, a bit like a doll, but looks pretty good. Swing Choir into the monster, inflict a billion damage, and destroy it. And we take no battle damage, and our monster isn't destroyed. And we also summoned this card at the end of the turn because we have the hand trap in hand. Stratos can pop one on the back row, we don't care. Adjusted Gold, gonna summon Dark Calling. So you can once again summon his big Gaia monster. Now I could have used the hand trap here to protect this and pop this card, but I kind of didn't want to because I wanted to use this to swing into it and kill it in a second anyway, to do a bit more battle damage, and try to lethal him next turn, which we ended up doing, as you'll see. Top deck a Melodious monster, do some burn damage, destroy it, activate the hand trap, make his thing 0 attack, and he's dead. Yes, that was a very good example of just how strong this deck can be. To be fair, I think I'm overrating this deck a bit too much as well, purely because the meta hasn't settled and there isn't any, like... After the new ban list, there isn't going to be a whole lot of meta decks still around, so I'm not really sure what's going to be top tier and what this deck's good against, so... We'll have to kind of wait and see on that one. I am hoping that this deck will be strong though, because it feels good to me. Then again, it's also the new world, so a lot of people are playing a lot of junk, and a lot of my wins were against Pendulum players who... I just activated Cosmic Cyclone, banished one of their Pendulum cards, and they basically lost from there, so... Alright, so this guy's playing Lunalight. Now, I know that Lunalight don't really have an out to my deck outside of Malevolent Sin. So my entire aim is to summon 2 boss monsters. So first thing I do is activate the Ostinato. Literally just one card Lamau, here's my boss monster, deal with it. And now that we've used that, we can summon our monster, use our skill to bring back Maestra from graveyard, because we can use graveyard or deck. Use this effect to add back our fusion monster to hand. Summon it again, fusion summon into yet another one. And we pass the turn. So we could have also added the, I could have added this to hand, and then I could have summoned it to beat over this. But we know Lunar Lights like to try to OTK me, so I'm just going to not worry about any of that. I'm just going to summon these two monsters and let our opponent play the game. I could have summoned in defense position too and tried it that way, but I was happy just to put this in hand in case something happens to our board, and then we can fusion summon again. Not to mention we still have the hand trap, so even if he has like a negate or something, we're somewhat protected. Yeah, this guy I'm pretty sure targets our monster, then just concedes instantly because he knows he doesn't really have an out to two of this. There's just no out in his deck. He can summon Malevolent Sin, target one of them, but then he can't get past the other one. There's like no out to this. Alright, next duel. So that was an example of a matchup where that card is... yeah, your opponent just can't deal with it. Alright, so this guy had a very misleading lane. He wasn't playing 6 Samurai. So same combos once again. Going to summon Maestra from deck, special summon this guy, add a card back to hand, fusion summon into boss monster. I'd say it's a shame that we can't exceed someone with this deck because we can't run anything that isn't Melodious thanks to the skill, but I think it's good enough without it. But imagine if it wasn't. I could have then summoned these two and gone into an Xyz monster as well. Could just special summon them, had like a Roach on board or Abyss Dweller or something. This deck could be really nuts. But thankfully the skill does block you from doing that. This guy was trying out the new gadgets. Alright. So we're gonna summon out Mr. Shoebox over here, or Mrs. Shoebox. Summon the attack buff. Thankfully, he decided to use his breakthrough skill here, because this would have been really annoying, because this is one of the outs to this monster. He just negates it, then he could kill it. But I'm swinging into a defense position monster, so I'm like, okay, cool. Anyway, I'm going to activate Maestra in response to banish this trap card, so he can't use it during his turn. I probably should have waited a bit to use this, but I just don't want him to negate anything later on. Yeah, also, I probably shouldn't have, I kind of forgot what happens when you destroy gadgets. I probably shouldn't have swung into it to give him his search and his special summon and stuff, but it didn't matter in this case. But I definitely shouldn't have done that. I also don't think this guy knew what my deck does, because I was like, oh no, he's summoning Malevolent Sin, that's really annoying. This guy can then potentially out me and be annoying, but he then banished this monster, and I was like, oh, alright. that doesn't work. Alright, activate this card's effect in response to the fusion summon, because I'm going to summon two of my boss monster, because again, I'm pretty sure this guy's deck has like very little outs to this, and he's just shown like his only real out on board, so if I kill this, I'm pretty sure I just win the duel from here no matter what he's got. Potentially, so that's what I do. Like, he might have another breakthrough skill, but he has to get through two of these now. And I'm just waiting to draw any of my attack buffs. Or hand trap. Destroy Tamer. Then we just swing it in, destroy Tamer again because it was special summoned. He then thinks he's clever, summons his indestructible Pedalfin. But you see, this card doesn't have to destroy the monster to inflict its burn damage. So he's just giving me a monster that I can infinitely swing into and infinitely burn him. Yeah. This is a bit rough. And he commits honourable seppuku, because he knows it's over. Yeah, so I think that guy misplayed quite a bit there. There was probably a point in that game where he might have had lethal too. But, yeah. That's what you get for not reading cards. Alright, next up. Alright, so this replay isn't all that great because it's just my opponent bricking, but I wanted to show it anyway because it shows a particular combo I wanted to show. So, this combo shows that you can actually search the hand trap in this deck if you want the hand trap. So basically, movement solo, gonna search out the hand trap from deck, and then because of the skill combo where you can special summon a Maestra, I have no idea why they made the skill not negate the monster you summon, but for some reason they let you just kind of summon it from deck. Anyway, and then you can activate its skill, special summon Songstress. Songstress can add back a monster from grave. And there you go, we've got the hand trap in hand now. And we can still summon our boss monster, and special summon 2 other monsters if we want to. I don't think I do in this case, but we could. Also, the hand trap isn't even very good in this matchup because our opponent is playing Gaia and his field spell prevents them. But yeah, this like I said, our opponent bricked in this situation, so activates one of the few counters to this card, or the many counters. Activates Flynn Chalice, negating the effects, so he can now destroy it. But sadly, because he's running so much back row in his deck, this guy bricked hard. And swings into a hand trap. And from there, he was hella dead. But yeah, it wasn't a very good replay, I just wanted to show that particular combo. So I think it's pretty neat that the hand trap is technically searchable in this deck, and that the Maestras you summon from deck, the fact you can use their effects is just so good. I do recommend running multiple, like one copy of each Maestra though, because both of their effects can be usable in different situations, and you do need multiple of them because you have your spell, and you have your fusion spell, and you have your normal way of summoning them through your skill. And you also can brick by drawing into the cards, and you can't use your skill on them. So this guy was playing some little fish Xyz stuff, or yeah, water Xyz. Using solo. The whole point of this is I'm trying to get my opponent to activate his effect early to destroy my stuff, because if he destroys this card like before I can fusion summon, it'll be really annoying. So making sure to... Oh sorry, if he destroys our Maestra before we fusion summon, it'd be really annoying. So the entire aim was to try to special summon as much stuff as I can to get our opponent to use his effect. And he did. So he pops this before I can fusion summon, but we don't care because we have another one in hand, and we haven't even normal summoned yet. So normal summon, and we're going to Songstress into Choir. Yeah, you're going to be seeing a lot of this animation if you play this deck. And now we have Mr. Indestructible, fucking burn damage, non-target removing monster for our opponent to have to deal with. At this point, I'm not sure what this is. I wasn't sure if it's a cosmic or something. I thought because he made this attack in particular, where he just killed off his own monster for some reason, that this must have been like a drowning or something, because he wanted his board empty. So I was a bit scared of drowning, and I thought this duel was pretty over anyway, so I just put my monster in defense position just in case. Last Shore Shark summons out the Spider Shark, Hope Woven. At this point though, it really doesn't matter. Unless his back row was something spectacular, he still can't out this thing, so he's dead. Alright guys, that's it for the gameplay. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, all that kind of stuff. And let me know what video you want to see next, because I've got a lot of Arc 5 videos to make now, so... Thank you guys for watching. Hope to see you in the next one. Laters.
Hey, big brother, can I watch SpongeBob?
Shut up, Mokuba. I'm busy flagging YouTube videos to compensate for the fact that I have an extremely small penis.
Oh.